story of El Chapo. How a drug lord took over a city and its impact on the community. Joaquin Guzman, also known as El Chapo, was the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel, one of the most prominent criminal organizations in Mexico in the late 20th century. His full name is Joaquin Archibaldo Guzman Loera. Guzman was up in the rural, impoverished Badiraguato municipality of Sinaloa state in northwest Mexico, which was also the birthplace of other infamous drug lords. Welcome everyone. In today's video, we're going to looking the true story of El Chapo, how a drug lord took over a city and its impact on the community. As a member of Miguel Ángel Felix Gallardo's Guadalajara drug cartel in the 1980s, he started his criminal career. Before we continue, please hit the bell icon to subscribe if you are new to this channel so you won't miss the videos we release in the future. The true story of El Chapo, how a drug lord took over a city and its impact on the community. Guzman advanced quickly in the company's levels. He rose to prominence in the Sinaloa cartel after it split in the late 1980s. He led the Sinaloa cartel in the development of innovative smuggling methods and schemes, such as the construction of air-conditioned tunnels beneath the Mexico-US border, the concealment of drugs in chili pepper cans and fire extinguishers, and the catapulting of drugs across the border. Cannabis, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and other illicit substances were produced and transported by his operation. Guzman was detained in Guatemala in 1993 and sent back to Mexico. He was tried there, found not guilty of the murder accusation but guilty of drug trafficking and gun possession, and ultimately given a sentence of more than 20 years in a maximum security facility. However, the prison authorities gave him a lot of latitude in return for bribes, allowing him to continue running the illegal enterprise. He took over as the cartel's leader in 1995, according to a number of reports. He managed to escape in 2001 with the aid of dishonest jail guards. Many prison employees, including the warden, were detained on suspicion of corruption as a result of a subsequent inquiry. Early in the 21st century, Guzman was said to be in charge of the majority of the marijuana and cocaine trafficking from Mexico and Colombia to the United States, as well as the main methamphetamine smuggler in the Asia-Mexico-US triangle, in which methamphetamine was produced in Mexico with Asian-made chemicals and then smuggled to the United States. In 2009, Forbes magazine estimated his net wealth to be $1 billion, and according to other estimates, his cartel generates $3 billion in annual earnings. Guzman's notoriety in Mexico reached the status of folklore. Numerous well-known narco-corridos, also known as drug songs, set his life story to music and praised him as a hero of the people. Guzman became one of the top targets in the drug war for the U.S. administration. The U.S. government offered a $5 million reward in 2004 for information that would result in Guzman's detention on federal drug charges. The Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act was used in 2012 by the U.S. Department of the Treasury, which referred to Guzman as the world's most potent drug trafficker, to freeze the assets of his family in the United States. Tens of thousands of people were killed in deadly clashes between the Sinaloa cartel and rival cartels, as well as Mexican police enforcement during the first decade of the 21st century. The Mexican army launched a large-scale attack against the drug cartels in 2006, which led to the arrest of numerous traffickers but fell short of dismantling the main gangs or capturing Guzman. Guzman was captured in Mazatlan, Mexico, in February 2014 after years spent in hiding. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, and the Mexican Marines conducted a weeks-long operation that ended with his arrest. On the evening of July 11, 2015, Guzman managed to elude authorities once more. He left the high-security Altiplano jail outside of Toluca by using a tunnel that extended for more than 1 mile, 1.5 kilometers, ending at a house on a building site. Lighting and ventilation were present in the about 5.6 foot, 1.7 meter, high wood-reinforced tunnel that Guzman used to escape. This suggests that the tunnel had been in the works for some time. Apparently, during the tunnel's excavation, earth was removed using a motorcycle. Questions regarding possible state involvement in the escape were raised almost immediately after a big manhunt was launched, which was devastating to President Enrique Pña Nieto, who had hailed Guzman's capture as a crucial victory. had made the fight against drug cartels a pillar of his new administration. Guzman was declared to have been apprehended on January 8, 2016, in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, following a shootout. He was extradited to the United States the next year, where he was accused of a number of offenses, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and murder plot. In November 2018, his trial got underway under tight security. He was found guilty of all the counts against him in February 2019, and 5 months later he was given a life sentence. Guzman's wife, Emma Coronel Ashpuro, was detained in the U.S. in 2021 and charged with taking part in his drug business. Later on in the year, she confessed to many offenses and received a 3-year prison term. El Chapo built makeshift school for the poor. Despite the fact that the drug gang he led instigated bloodshed in the state and internationally, El Chapo is adored as a fallen folk hero and a community benefactor by some in his home state of Sinaloa, where he is currently serving a life sentence in a U.S. jail. Meanwhile, a few of El Chapo's offspring have continued in his footsteps and advanced inside the Sinaloa cartel, taking the helm of a brand new division of the group known as Los Chapitos. In order to get the police to release one of their siblings, Ovidio Guzman, Los Chapitos besieged the state capital of Clockinn last year. This made international news and strengthened the family's reputation as outlaws. A community leader in the Bicentennial Extension, a poor neighborhood north of Clockinn, Esmeralda Quiñones, claimed that some of El Chapo's kids had gotten in touch with her to ask about the area's needs and quickly erect a makeshift school. Thank God, El Chapo's children learned about the situation and expressed support, Quiñones remarked. El Chapo's children could not be reached by Reuters for comment. An inquiry for comment was not immediately answered by the Sinaloa state government. When he visited the school last week, the state's education minister, Juan Alfonso Mejia, told Reuters that the necessary authorities will have to find out who equipped the school. But he praised the school's community for its efforts, calling what they were doing an amazing job in the midst of a pandemic. The new school is furnished with study and teaching resources, books, television sets, laptops, and internet access. It is decorated with the letters JGL, which stand for Joaquin Guzman Loera, well known by his street name El Chapo. According to Quiñones, uniforms and shoes were also offered. Locals claim that many students in the underprivileged neighborhood gave up on learning completely when the pandemic forced schools to close. All around Mexico, schools are still closed. In homes without an internet connection or a venue where their children might watch online and televised classes being aired by Mexican authorities during the outbreak, families frequently subsist on what parents earn working on the neighboring enormous waste. Dozens of parents have sent their kids to this makeshift school because they like the concept that they can educate them while they work in the dump and that they won't have to worry about feeding them, according to Quiñones. With the help of volunteer teachers, between 70 and 90 students from various educational levels can now follow classes at the location through television or the internet. Conclusion: don't say the word. Adeline Herrera, one of the teachers, claimed she began assisting students with their schoolwork in her spare time, after observing them on the streets all day until their parents got home from work. That's all for today's video. Feel free to share any helpful information in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos from our channel. Thanks for watching and see you all soon.